would sign off on something like this. He'd be aware of it and would sign off on it. But Eric Holder says he recused himself, meaning he withdrew from the case. He withdrew from the matter. I want you to listen to this exchange with Holder and Spencer Bacchus, Republican of Alabama, because this to me is absolutely stunning. Cut 2, go.
On what date did you recuse yourself?
I'm not sure. I think it's just towards the beginning of the matter. I don't know exactly when, but it was towards the beginning of the matter.
Isn't that a sort of an unacceptable procedure that you wouldn't formally, because the statute actually says that the Attorney General shall approve the subpoena. So shouldn't there have been some memorandum? There was no memorandum, no email. When you recused yourself, I mean, was it in writing? Was it orally? Who did you recuse? Did you alert the White House?
I certainly did not alert the White House. We don't talk to the White House about it.
Who do you recuse yourself to?
I would have told the Deputy Attorney General, as I have done in other matters, in the Edwards case, for instance.
Well, no, I understand, but do you not do that formally or in writing?
No.
That is crap. Now, I want you to listen to me, folks. I'm not going to do this from a superficial point of view, but from experience. That is crap. You don't just say, I've recused myself. You don't put it formally in writing and inform everybody in the Department of Justice, or at least the senior personnel. How do you recuse yourself if everybody around you doesn't know you've recused yourself in some formal way? That is, information will still come into the Attorney General's office or to the office of his staffers. And if you recuse yourself, you need to formally confer the matter to your deputy, who then becomes, for the purposes of that matter, the acting Attorney General of the United States. So you recuse yourself for a specific purpose on a specific subject, and you essentially have to define it, because you're turning over a power, authority, to your deputy. So your deputy needs to know exactly what power and authority you're turning over to him or her, as do the other members of your senior staff. So to say, no, it's not in writing anywhere, and I kind of think it was at the beginning of the process, that is an outrage. That is a flat-out lie. And I'm telling you from my own experience, that is a flat-out lie. You don't just announce to you, I'm recusing myself. You put it in writing, you circulate it, you explain why. And you defined exactly what it is you're recusing yourself from. Again, this has been done 1,000 times, but apparently not by this Attorney General. And I'm going to tell you why, because he's a liar. More the reason to have a special prosecutor in the IRS case. Notice he didn't recuse himself from that. So you Sherlock Holmes types in the media, you investigative journalists, so-called, you Praetorian Guard is what you really are. Time to wake the hell up and listen to this testimony, because this is a joke. It's an absolute joke. He wants to be able to say, I don't know anything about this. I wasn't involved in this. Well, when did you recuse it? I think it was at the beginning. Did you put it in writing? No. Is there some formal process? No. Well, what exactly did you recuse yourself from? When did you do it? Who knew about it? And how did you define your recusal? Well, unbelievable. Let's go to cut 3, Mr. Producer. Go.
At what point did you inform the White House, or do you have any knowledge when the White House was informed by DOJ that they were investigating the press?
My guess would be that the White House found out about this by reading the newspapers.
By what? Last Tuesday?
By reading the newspapers or watching television.
He's the President of the he's the Attorney General of the United States. He's in charge of the Justice Department. He's in charge of tapping. This is no small matter. He's involved in a broad, widespread investigation of the Associated Press, the largest media outlet in the nation. How did the White House hear about it? I guess from the... You guess? You guess? But did he go to dumb school too with Obama? They think this is some kind of joke, this rope-a-dope crap? They have these big positions, folks. They have security. They have cars. Obama's traveling all over the world. He's treated like a king. We treat them this way because they're supposed to know what's going on, and they're supposed to be in charge of what they're constitutionally permitted to be in charge of. They keep grabbing more and more power, and then when you ask them about, I recused myself. Well, when did you do it? I think at the beginning. Did you do it in writing? No, of course not. How did the White House hear about your recusal in the AP matter? Well, I guess they heard about it in the press. You guess? Let's go to cut 4. Go.
I'm trying to find out who authorized the subpoena. You can't tell me if Deputy Attorney General Cole authorized the subpoena. Somebody had to authorize the subpoena because the Code of Federal Regulations is pretty specific that this is supposed to go as close to the top as possible.
No, what I'm saying is that I can't say as a matter of fact, but I have to assume, and I'd say I would probably be 95, 99% certain that the Deputy Attorney General, acting in my stead, was the one who authorized the subpoena. But let me say this. I've just been given a note that we have in fact confirmed that the deputy was the one who authorized the subpoena.
What a joke. Let me explain this, folks. If he recused himself, if in fact he did, meaning the Deputy Attorney General becomes the acting Attorney General for these purposes, of course he would have authorized the subpoena. Not 95, not 99% sure, 100% sure. Oh, well, he handed him a note. Oh, okay, he authorized it. I think a very broad subpoena needs to be shot into the side of the Justice Department by this committee, and they need to get access to all the memoranda and data and so forth on computers, hard copy, other copies that went back and forth in the Attorney General and Deputy Attorney General's office. Just go to the Executive Secretariat. I know how it works because I set it up. I'm sure it's been altered and modernized with new technologies, but that just means there's more footprints to follow because this guy's a liar.